Hey everybody, we're going to do Chris Stewart's Minimal Dace. This is a Blacknose dace. A lot of the bait fish have this pattern of a black stripe, white belly, brownish back. And here's Art Flick's imitation of that. You can see the 3 levels of bucktail used to imitate that. And it's a little bit challenging to do. And Chris Stewart came up with what he thinks is a simpler way. So we're going to use a Daiichi streamer hook here in size 12, black thread. I'm using the tag end of the thread on an angle to assist with side-by-side touching turns all the way to right about near the point of the hook. And then I'll clip that off and I'll keep going back to the very end of the bend with the thread. The black thread on the body is going to represent the black lateral stripe of the Blacknose dace and also tons of other bait fish, minnow type patterns. I'm going to come back in touching turns, flattening the thread as I go and as best I can to keep it nice and smooth and an even line. I don't know that that's super important for actual fishing, but certainly makes a nicer looking fly in the end. I started about a hook guy back, a little less than that, and I'm going to go all the way back to that point there. Oops, I forgot to mash the barb. Let's mash that barb. Okay, so I'm going to start with the white bucktail, and that's going to go on the bottom. So I have a rotary vise, so I just flipped it there. Very sparse amount of hairs here. Chris says about 7 to 10. I didn't do an exact count here, but very little. I didn't stack it. I just sort of did like a hand stacking in hand. 2 loose wraps just to gather it on there, move it into the right position, 1 tight turn, and then snip off the excess. And I went all the way up to the eye, and now I'm coming back to that tie-in point, going to the top, going to do brown from the same bucktail. I'm using hair that's closer to the top of the bucktail. The tip doesn't flare as much. It's less hollow. You want more of the brownish black hairs than the white hairs. Double might be a little bit too much, but close to that. And I'm sort of looking at that balance and pulling out as you go and measuring. Pinch loop, 1 more wrap, adjust. Now I crank down, going forward, couple of wraps. I'm still a little ways away from the eye. I can go tighter, couple more turns, really hold it on. Now I snip up at an angle, and then I'm going to clean up those butt ends, flatten the thread, and we're forming the head now. A couple other options for this as I thought about it. Whip finish now. I'm just flattening the thread out as I do a whip finish. Beyond just the black thread for the black lateral line, you can use black yarn, black dubbing, something that would absorb water, help it sink. Chris Stewart also tried a jig hook, and certainly in that configuration with a little more weight near the bottom could help out quite a bit if you want to get the fly down near the bottom. But hopefully you can see here that very, very simple black thread, a hook, and a bucktail. And you can make something that imitates a dace. Very impressionistic, but I think it does a solid job of mimicking it. Very, very simple. The dark black body is definitely that lateral line, and darting around or moving around the current might look like a wounded dace or other bait fish. Just putting a little head cement here gingerly on there. It's a little bit of a 360, trying to get it so you can see on the camera the impression here. Maybe with a more close-up you can see that Thank you, subscribe and like, and we'll see you soon.